already up to number 4, and there's still quite a few to go. But this one's going to be the story of the speech language pathologist. And what's unique about this story is the date that went wrong was not the first date. So once again, we met using some online means, and I had to communicate with this person over spotty internet while working a shift at a pizza restaurant that shall go unnamed because everybody watching this already knows the name of that restaurant. But somehow I managed to set up a date where we were going to go out and get sushi. And we met up at this place in Paducah that's near the mall that I don't remember the name of. And she ordered a dish that came on fire, and I ordered a dish that had cheese melted over sushi. So somehow she was not freaked out or turned off by that. And the second portion of our date involved us going to Books A Million and wandering around looking at books, talking about different things that we liked. And she's telling me on this part of the date how much she likes choir music, classical music, things like that. And I had rolled over there in my mighty little Corolla, blaring probably System of a Down, maybe Guns N' Roses. I don't know, but by the time I got from the sushi place to Books A Million, my throat was already shredded from singing along with a lot of loud screaming music. But somehow I managed to score a second date, which is where this story really kicks off. So, like I said before, it was a matter of trying to level up socially. She's definitely more educated than I am. Speech language pathologist. And of course, my accent came up in the conversation. And she was able to tell right off where I was from, how it developed. I didn't even need to go into all the esoteric BS that comes from having a general understanding that I had not practiced in 10 years of whatever it was. She knew all the terminology and all the jargon, and I was able to get through the date without making too much of an idiot of myself. But on the next date, I had the home court advantage. So it was not real warm out, but definitely cool enough that I decided I would wear boots on this day. So we determined that we were going to meet and eat at Los Portales, the premier Mexican restaurant in the tri-state area, except for all the other ones that I'm sure I'll probably get commented at. But the part where it starts going off the rails is the approach. So I was to meet her around 6, I think, at Lowe's. Started heading over toward Lowe's and pulled into the parking lot, which to my perception was completely packed. Like, oh my God, look at all the cars here. What in God's name is going on at Lowe's that it's so busy tonight? I hope we're able to find a seat. I don't want to sit there and, have to wait because that'd be kind of embarrassing. And why are all these cars so clean? It looks like everybody here has just gone to the car wash. And why are they all Fords? What I'd done was I pulled into a car lot next to the parking lot for Los Portales. I'd gotten out of my car, parked it and everything, and was looking around trying to figure out what the hell was going on. When it dawned on me, I was parked in a car dealership's showroom lot. So I got back in my car and tried to park in the appropriate spot because I was afraid I'd get towed or God knows what would happen. And I'm pulling past the lot just in time to see her take the last available space in the Los Portales lot. So I ended up parking significantly further away and ended up jogging about 3 or 4 blocks to meet up with her. Caught her at her car, and we went in, sat down, and ate. And the conversation went pretty well. I had a chicken dish, and I forget what she had, but we started to talk a little bit more about the nature of our jobs. And I guess I made the mistake of appearing to be less than completely professional with regard to whatever things I did. You know, not like hyper unprofessional, but yes, I swear in the classroom. Yes, I show up to work every day in jeans and a black t-shirt. Yes, I have worn a shark costume on more than one occasion. Yes, I've gotten into arguments with the president that almost resulted in physical violence. Not the current one, not the former one, not the guy before him, but 4 presidents back. So anybody who's a big fan of Bob Jackson or Bob Davies, don't worry, I didn't get into any arguments with those guys. So after that, we decided to go get some coffee or something, and I don't know. I guess it must seem weird that I don't drink caffeine, because I got some kind of tea drink, and she kind of looked at it like, what's the deal here? If I have coffee this late at night, I'm going to be up all night. And I know I dress like Batman, but I really don't want to stay up all night. I've probably got something important to do tomorrow. It's like, what could you possibly have to do that's important tomorrow? I don't know, iron my shark costume. So the conversation went how it went. We finished whatever it was we were drinking, and walking to her car. It was not kiss goodnight territory yet. I was still trying to figure out whether or not that was the footing we were on, and so it was hug goodnight territory still. Winter-wise, I try to wear boots that go with jeans, and I try to wear boots that don't look too garbagey, but I was wearing something that was identical to this because it actually was this. So it is a work boot. It is made by Fry. It's durable, it's heavy, and when I went in for the hug goodnight, that's the sound of the boot hitting the floor from eye level. When I went in for the hug goodnight, I stepped on her foot with that boot. She was wearing flats, and I think I nailed it pretty good. So I stepped off her foot as soon as I felt like I was stepping on it and tried to reposition my feet. Stepped on her other foot and awkwardly managed to put my arms around her in a way that probably wasn't the most satisfying hug. But on stepping on her foot the second time, I just backed away and said, I'm going to give up here before you end up seriously injured. And that may have been a mistake. I don't know. I don't think it was in her best interest to continue seeing me, and she probably agreed with me, because I made the same token effort of trying to follow up. I had a great time. Hope I get to see you again, and never heard a thing. So I was shocked and entertained by her sushi dish showing up on fire. She was probably shocked and entertained by the way I mispronounce easy to pronounce words. But hopefully wherever she is, her feet aren't too sore. But coming up, we have some other interesting stories that don't necessarily involve me injuring anyone, stepping on anyone, or saying anything completely stupid. But they do involve a heavy dose of rock and roll. So I'm going to keep posting these things till somebody tells me to shut up. In the meantime, hope everybody's having fun, and I will talk to you later.